Hi, welcome back to Solve It with Arash. Today we're going to learn about polynomial long division. We'll walk through the steps of polynomial division using clear examples to help you understand each part of this process. Whether you're preparing for an exam or you just want to strengthen your math skills, this video is for you. So grab your notebooks and let's get started with polynomial long division. We want to use polynomial division to find the answers to these two divisions. Polynomial division is very similar to numerical long division. Let's just start with a quick refresher on numerical division. For example, I want to find the answer to 4,270 divided by 17. First, we set up the long division frame and write the dividend here and the divisor here. Then I need to multiply 17 by 2 to make a 34 and subtract it from 42. And then bring down 7. Now I need a 5. 85 subtracted from 87 is 2. Bring down 0. Now I need a 1. And 3 is going to be the remainder, where 251 is called the quotient. Now let's use the same principles and apply it on polynomial long division. In the first example, we want to divide negative 5x squared plus 2x cubed minus 17x plus 7 by 2x plus 1. The first step is to draw the division frame and write the dividend and divisor. But we need to make sure that these two are written in descending order of their degrees. For the dividend, the highest degree is 2x cubed. I'm going to write that first. And then the quadratic term, which is negative 5x squared. Then we have a linear term, negative 17x, and lastly, the constant term. We need to make sure to include all terms. If any of them is missing, for example, if we don't have a quadratic term, then we need to replace it with a 0. We will have an example of how to do that in the next one. But for now, since we have everything, we just write them down, but we need to make sure it's written in descending order of degrees. Same idea for divisor, but the divisor is already in a descending order, so we're good with that. And now the first goal is to eliminate the highest degree term, and in this case is 2x cubed. To eliminate that, I need to multiply 2x by x squared. So the first term of the quotient is x squared, and I write it exactly above the quadratic term. So they are lined up. The quadratic terms are going to be lined up, linear terms are lined up in the next step, and so on and so forth. Now x squared times 2x plus 1, that produces 2x cubed plus x squared. Now subtract this from the dividend. The result is negative 6x squared, and bring down the next term, which is negative 17x. Now we need to eliminate negative 6x squared. Therefore, I need a negative 3x to multiply by 2x. That will generate negative 6x squared. Negative 3x times 1 is negative 3x. Now subtract. The difference is negative 14 times x. Bring down the constant term. Now I need to eliminate negative 14x, so I need a negative 7. Negative 7 times 2x plus 1 is negative 14x minus 7. The last subtraction, the result is 14. Now, x squared minus 3x minus 7 is called the quotient of the division, and 14 is the remainder. Now let's use long division to find the answer to the division of this fifth degree polynomial by this quadratic. We start by drawing the long division frame. Let's write down the divisor first. 3x squared, that's the leading term, highest degree. The linear term is missing, so I will write it as 0 times x, and then the constant term. It is very important to include all the terms. Even if they're missing, replace them with a 0. Next, the highest degree term of the dividend is x to the power 5, and the leading term is 3x to the power 5. The degree of 4 is missing, so 0 times x to the power 4. Cubic term is negative 7x cubed. Quadratic is 18x squared. The linear is 4x. And the constant is negative 24. Now let's start by eliminating 3x to the power 5, which requires x cubed to multiply by 3x squared. Write it above the cubic term. Now multiply x cubed by 3x squared, then multiply by 0x. That will produce 0x to the power 4. X cubed times negative 4 is negative 7x cubed. Subtract this from above. The difference is negative 3x to the power 3. Now I need to bring down 18x squared, and I want to eliminate negative 3x cubed. So I need to multiply 3x squared by negative x. While we have x cubed, and I was expecting to have a quadratic term after it, but I need to jump to the linear term. Therefore, the quadratic term is going to be skipped. So you can replace it with a 0 times x squared, and then bring down one more term of the dividend and write it down here for x. Now write negative x above the linear term. This way everything is lined up properly. Negative x times 3x squared is negative x cubed. Negative x times 0x, that's 0x squared. Negative x times negative 4 is 4 times x. The difference is 18 squared. Bring down the last term, that's negative 24. Now I need to eliminate 18x squared, so plus 6 is going to be the last term of the quotient, times 3x squared is 18x squared, times 0x is 0, times negative 4 is negative 24. So I knew they're going to cancel out, and I didn't include 0 anymore. Difference is 0. Here we go. Voila! This polynomial of degree 5 is divisible by this quadratic, and the quotient is of degree 3, and the remainder is 0. And I'm going to show it with R standing for remainder. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helped you to understand how to use polynomial long division effectively. If you have any questions or any topic that you'd like me to cover in the next video, please feel free to drop a comment below. Keep practicing, and I'll see you next time.